Golden Spur Award is given annually by the Ranching Heritage Association to recognize outstanding contributions to the ranching and livestock industry, the lifetime achievement of the nation's top rancher. In addition, the award spotlights the humanistic and scientific contributions of the livestock and ranching industries. This is the place. Under the summer sun and through winter's depths, a man seems small against the vast landscape and limitless Nebraska sky. The land has many gifts to give, though not always evident. Only through wisdom and humility does one begin to understand the land on its own terms, and then coax the most from it. Jack Maddux, the 2009 Golden Spur Award recipient, is just such a man. The story of what makes up Jack Maddux's lifetime of achievement as an extraordinary rancher begins 2 generations earlier in the late 1880s. Taylor and Clara Maddux settled a homestead near Juanita, Chase County, western Nebraska. Their efforts and those of the Madduxes who followed turned untamed tablelands and sandhills into an innovative and thriving cattle operation. Today, Jack is the 3rd and his son John the 4th generation of Madduxes, whose stewardship has led them to an ever deeper understanding of the gifts the land offers.
We have fire in our belly for the ranching business. We love it, and we wouldn't want to do anything else but ranch.
Like most ranch kids, Jack learned at the knees of his father, absorbing all he could, gaining intelligence, and sharpening what would become keen powers of observation and strong intuition about both ranching and people. And he developed a willingness to change from methods tried and true.
Jack's one of those individuals who is very strong and dedicated and has led an excellent example throughout his whole life and has unselfishly worked for the betterment of the cattle industry.
You know, Jack has been through all the different cycles in the industry. He's a true rancher. He's really in the business. He makes his living from the business. He understands the issues of the industry and can identify with the people.
But Jack is always out there, you know, ready to motivate you and visit with us to, to give us his ideas, what he would like to see, and always is listening to our ideas. That's the neatest part of the whole deal, is he's got an open mind.
4 years in the School of Agriculture at Colorado State University gave Jack a bigger view of the world. Classmate and friend Bob Jostrin recalls Jack's leadership, even then.
One of my best friends in college at Colorado A&M was Jack Maddux. We served together on the judging team. He showed great leadership at that point in time, and also showed a great deal of leadership socially within his fraternity.
A busy life at CSU and a stint as an Air Force pilot and instructor didn't keep Jack from pursuing his other passion, his wife, Carol.
And I had said, deliver me from Chase County. I like the bright lights and I want to move away from here. And then Jack comes into the picture during my senior year in school, and I moved all of 18 miles and I've only lived in one county my whole life. When you talk about Jack's love of the ranch, I've always said that I didn't worry a whole lot about Jack having an affair, because I knew that his first love was that ranch, and he wasn't about to give me half.
Together, Jack and Carol continued the Maddux Cattle Company success. Today, the company includes a 3,000 head feed yard, and a 2,500 head cow-calf operation on 40,000 acres of deeded and leased land. The Maddux breeding program uses a composite of Red Angus, Tarentaise, and South Devon breeds and features their long-standing practice of early weaning.
They early wean their calves in the past where, the industry standard is to leave a calf on a cow for 205 days. They've left a calf on a cow for 30 to 60 days, just out of the mainstream box by a mile. I just think they are real innovators and very successful in what they do.
Jack's dedication to public service is well known. Among many positions he has held, Jack served as chairman of the board of the University of Nebraska Foundation. His contributions to Nebraska agriculture are evident in the accolades and recognition he's received from his peers.
From water to land to air to people resources, Jack's leadership in committees and other enterprises has been for the betterment of Nebraska agriculture.
Jack's service has a national scope as well. Jack was an early leader of CattleFax, served the American National Cattlemen's Association and its successors, the National Cattlemen's Association and the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Jack applied his knowledge, talent, and energy to improve management and financial planning for the industry. He served as the first treasurer of NCBA and as a trustee of the National Cattlemen's Foundation. Jack has also been honored as the first ever National Cattlemen's Association Cattle Businessman of the Year in 1984, Cattleman of the Year in 2002 by the Nebraska Cattlemen's Association, and Livestock Leader of the Year by Colorado State University in 2004.
He has truly been a mentor for me in my time in the industry, in the organizations, the industry organizations that I've worked in. He doesn't just worry about change, he worries about improvement in the industry.
He's been always on the blade, maybe not on the point, but he's been on the blade. And when it's time to change, he knows when to change. And I think he's been extremely successful, and to me that proves he's an outstanding cattleman and one of the most outstanding cattlemen in the United States.
Behind the achievements on the ranch and in the boardroom, what kind of a man is Jack Maddux?
Jack is the kind of person that is really interested in you, and he listens. And he'll come up with some of the most wonderful advice and counsel. I think he's one of the kindest men I know.
Always been there for me, always been a good mentor, and and taught me about grass and taught me about the way of the land, and he's just pretty much just been that grandfather figure, for quite a few years now. So, and I greatly appreciate him and Carol both.
He's very devoted to his family, very devoted to the livestock industry. When he says something, and he's very knowledgeable about a number of different subjects, but when he says something, you need to pay attention.
Clearly, Jack's strong values have carried him forward in life. But is it all work?
He's always learning something. He's always shedding some information that's great to know. I knew him for about 10 years before I discovered he had a sense of humor. But he is a very funny guy, has concern for others, deep concern for the land, a little too much concern for Nebraska football. That's one of his weaknesses.
We have a little story we tell, or they tell, about the time the cattle market was so bad and I was depressed, and I was in a chair there, and Carol came in and sat on my lap, and when I still had more hair, and she ran her fingers through my hair and said, "Jack, I didn't marry you for your money." Her father was a doctor, and I looked up and said, "That is the difference between us, sweetheart."
Jack Maddux is a connecting point. His legacy extends back to the days of cattle drives.
Our ranch is on the Texas Trail, and the original Texas Trail went up the Stinking Water Creek over where our original homestead is. Behind my house is a rock corral that was built in the 1870s, and it was put together by a entrepreneur rancher named Webster. That rock corral is on the Register of Historical Sites because it's the only physical remnant of that Texas Trail.
Jack Maddux, ranching innovator, cattleman, businessman, and self-described grower of grass. To him, ranching is more than a way of life. That's because beyond the lifestyle, every decision is made using sound business principles, promoting both success and longevity. Jack Maddux, a quiet leader who never sought top status in industry organizations, but whose experience, guidance, and voice influenced long-term industry planning, financial management, and stability, and developed industry leaders for decades. Jack Maddux, son, husband, father, and grandfather, enriching the legacy and heritage of the Maddux Cattle Company.
I feel proud to be in the family. I feel proud that he's the head of a strong legacy, and that he's such a good father-in-law, such a good friend.
But I know he's made a huge contribution to me and my sisters about passing on a set of values and a set of way to approach life, and I'm very appreciative of that.
We look around and see that most operations only last 2 or 3 generations and then fall apart. We hope that we'll be able to go 5 or 6 generations in our ranching operation.
Jack Maddux, the 2009 Ranching Heritage Association Golden Spur Award recipient.